war against insurgency in Nigeria has come with its attendant socio-economic consequences in the economy of the northeast Nigeria since 2009, when the Boko Haram group began its violent campaign. There have been concerted efforts by the federal government in Nigeria to address the challenges, and this has seen to the deployment of troops in the theater of operations in northeast Nigeria. Aside from these interventions by the government, some international NGOs have also been involved in mitigating the effect of the war in the region by providing humanitarian assistance to complement the efforts of the government. This on the heels that the role of international non-governmental organizations, NGOs, in war situations and the consequences of their presence for the dynamics of these conflicts cannot be overemphasized. More important for their influence is the financial resources that they can command, which in no small extent derive from their close association with donor governments as their implementing partners. This complex relationship between donor government and NGOs has contributed to an increasingly political role of NGOs and has undermined some of the benefits resulting from their non-state character. In the case of Nigeria, there has been perceived mutual suspicion and the role of international NGOs in the fight against Boko Haram insurgency. Consequently, this report seeks to examine the role of international non-governmental organizations in the Boko Haram conflict in the northeast Nigeria and the consequences of their presence for the dynamics of these conflicts. Provisions, these are the issues. Provisions of humanitarian assistance. The role of non-governmental organizations in humanitarian relief has thrived in recent years, but that rise has been characterized by a changing and increasingly difficult strategic and operating context for these entities. Paradoxically, while perhaps never more significant, relief organizations now confront more opaque and more problematic strategic environments, as well as a variety of enduring and bedeviling operating level challenges. On the strategic scale, NGOs are dependent upon the often unpredictable decisions of these critical states for funding and emerged in a service delivery structure characterized by competition, complexity, and diffuse authority and accountability, and are divided as well by growing differences in how participating organizations define their identities, especially in the light of more than a decade of experience with humanitarian rights related humanitarian interventions. Funding for terrorist activities. The peculiarity of the Boko Haram crisis in the Northeast is such that the illicit flow of funds has mainly contributed to the festering of the Boko Haram crisis. It has been argued in some quarters that the Boko Haram group enjoys funding for their activities from the unlikely sources that include politicians that are benefiting from the crisis, bank robberies, kidnapping for ransom, as well as funds from the terrorist network around the world. This factor has been stated and evidence provided, especially with the array of NGOs in operations in northeast Nigeria. Why it can be stated some of the NGOs have ulterior motives with regards to their operations in the northeast Nigeria, it can thus be argued that indeed the activities of some of the international NGOs in operation in northeast Nigeria portends grave danger if urgent and proactive steps are not taken to curtail their excesses by the relevant authorities. The international NGOs in the northeast Nigeria. The number of international NGOs in operation in northeast Nigeria is indeed alarming. according to findings from this report. More worrisome is the fact that most of these organizations have no clear-cut description of their mission. Some come under various nomenclature and enjoys massive funding from donor countries. Worthy of mention is the number of French NGOs in the northeast Nigeria. This report was able to identify that these NGOs have been in operation for close to 9 years, and most of them have paid for hotel accommodation for upwards 10 years at a go. This statement of fact indeed portrays the position of the Nigerian military that indeed some international NGOs are aiding and abetting the activities of Boko Haram terrorist group. A good example can be found in places visited like Maiduguri, where supposedly large shipments of humanitarian items are imported into the country by some international NGOs. These items end up in the camp of Boko Haram group. NGOs in the Northeast provide humanitarian support for terrorists in violation of international protocol and laws. It was also observed that the NGOs in the Northeast provide humanitarian support to Boko Haram terrorists in violation of international protocol and laws. They divert food and other relief items meant for IDPs to the camp of Boko Haram group. In most instances, some medical NGOs have been reported to provide medical services to injured Boko Haram members, which goes against provisions in the international humanitarian law in armed conflict situations. NGOs in the Northeast engage in the blackmail of the military. This report was able to uncover that the bulk of the information about the operations of the Nigerian military in the Northeast Nigeria are untrue. As a statement of facts, some NGOs engage in propaganda on behalf of the Boko Haram group, especially when they come under heavy bombardment of the Nigerian troops. This much was gathered from multiple sources in Northeast Nigeria, and it further lends credence to the position of the Nigerian army and other critical stakeholders. NGOs engage in humanitarian rights abuses. The activities of NGOs in Northeast Nigeria also transcend the various allegations of complicity in the festering of the Boko Haram activities. It was also gathered that most of the NGOs are perpetrators of gross human rights abuses. Some NGOs in Northeast Nigeria are actively involved in human trafficking and exploitation. There is a particular case of a French NGO that carries out documentaries in IDP camps depicting a picture of gloom as against the wishes of women and children, and they consequently send these documentaries to donor organizations soliciting for funds. They are also notorious for other inimical acts that are dehumanizing to IDPs in their various camps. Conclusion. The Center for African Liberation and Socio-Economic Rights, after an intensive review of the activities of some NGOs in the Northeast Nigeria, concludes that they have not helped much in line with their mandates. What can be seen in any case is a betrayal of these rules and responsibilities, and a total waste of donors' resources, and pursuing narrow interests in the country. These NGOs have acted against all known international protocol in rendering human assistance to victims of the Boko Haram insurgency in Northeast Nigeria. They have turned the crisis to a viable business venture. This has seen the perpetuation acts that undermine the efforts of the Nigerian military towards decimating the Boko Haram terrorism. Our recommendations. The Center for African Liberation and Socio-Economic Rights, in the light of the foregoing, recommends the following to be implemented by the relevant agencies in Nigeria in a bid to address the various challenges exposed by the activities of NGOs in Northeast Nigeria. NGOs operating in Northeast Nigeria must be made to disclose their sources of funding to the Nigerian government in a bid to entrench a regime of transparency and accountability. NGOs operating in the country must make full disclosure of their mission and comply with strict laws and regulations to be put in place. NGOs that have operated for more than 5 years and made no significant impact in tandem with their mission should be expelled from the country. NGOs found to be aiding and abetting the activities of Boko Haram terrorists be proscribed and expelled from the country with immediate effect. Finally, NGOs publish periodical financial transactions in line with the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit and other extant laws.